morning, YouTube. How are you? Welcome back to Cruise Chat Live here at the house. I know it's been a while. I hope everybody's doing well. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, man, we got a whole bunch of people. Holy cow. Look at everybody over here on YouTube as well. We got Scott, Tara, Brant, Tara, Becky, Kenneth. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? We've got Teet and Sunshine and Joe. How are you, everybody? Thanks so much for joining us for Cruise Chat Live. If you're new to the channel, I'm Walter, your independent travel advisor. And as always, I've got my wife, Rebecca, sitting right off camera. We run Where's Walter Travel. And if we can help you in any way with your cruises, your land tours, or anything out there, you just let us know. But every Sunday morning, at least we try to every Sunday morning, we're going to spend the next hour, hour and a half answering your questions about cruising and talking about all things cruising. Benny, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Joe, you're frozen currently at -9 degrees. I know we are freezing at 53 degrees down here. Sunshine, yes, we're going to talk about Icon. Look at it. I've got the whole book right here in front of me, Icon of the Seas. There's the whole breakout. And I'm going to be doing a ton of content about Icon. And next Sunday, Wi-Fi willing, we will be live from the Icon of the Seas. We're going to be boarding the Icon Saturday, January 20th. We're going to be on for 3 nights for the preview cruise. And then, I don't know, I'm going to try and stay up all 3 nights. That is going to be the test. That is going to be the test. Can Walter stay? Here, actually, I'll here. Y'all want to see? I know it's backwards on TikTok, but there you go. There's the whole cutout of Icon of the Seas. For those of you who are old enough to remember Richard Scarry, that's kind of what this reminds me of, an old Richard Scarry drawing.
I'm still going with Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, Rebecca thinks it looks like a Dr. Seuss drawing. So, yeah, so we're going to, hey, Douglas, how are you? Good morning. Good morning. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I am Walter, your independent travel advisor with Where's Walter Travel. We're going to spend the next hour or so talking about cruise, and we are definitely going to dive into the massiveness that is the Icon of the Seas. So it's going to be a lot of fun next Saturday. Make sure you follow with us next weekend. Michael, good morning. How are you? Thanks so much for joining, my friend. And folks, if you have questions about anything about cruising, yes, we're going to talk a lot about Icon today. But if you have questions about anything cruising, please do just drop your questions in there and we will do our best to answer. Mike, good morning. Thank you so much. And make sure if you like what we're doing, please do hit that like button and subscribe and all of that good stuff, both on TikTok and YouTube, so that everybody knows that you actually like what we're doing, and we do appreciate it. Rico is there. Hey, buddy. Philip is there, and everybody is there. Kenneth, you're freezing in Corpus Christi, Texas at 53 degrees. I know it's 54 or something like that here in Orlando. Ooh, really cold for us. But let's start breaking some of this stuff down with the Icon. What we've got is, we'll start with the neighborhood. So there are 8 neighborhoods on the Icon of the Sea. So once again, if you're just tuning in, there is the whole breakout of the Icon of the Seas. I'm going to be doing some content soon with this so I can really show you where things are on the ship. So our neighborhoods are going to be Thrill Island. So, of course, as that sounds, there's going to be a lot of your water slides and things like that. Surfside is your family neighborhood. So what they've done is they've moved all the family water park area to the very aft of the ship. So if you saw our footage the other day when we just happened to be there, when the Icon of the Seas came cruising on into Miami, we saw the big aft area, which has traditionally on the Oasis class ships, it's been the whole aqua theater thing. Now that's the whole family play area, which is absolutely phenomenal. Good morning, Emily. Good to see you. It's the afternoon in London. Well, cheerio, and I am drinking some tea. So cheers, everybody. And I've got Cindy on there. Another amazing Sunday. Thank you, Mike. So yeah, so Surfside is the family area. So they've got some cabins back there. They've got all the water stuff back there. And I knocked myself out of the studio on YouTube. Sorry about that, guys. I think the pad is working for some reason. So anyway, so I was talking about the Surfside and the family area. So yeah, so they've got cabins back there. They've got some really cute bars back there for the kids. So yes, there are bars for the kids. So it's like mock drinks, with fun names and stuff like that. I guess they're getting them ready to be adults later. And then the hideaway is going to be where you're going to find that suspended infinity pool. I cannot wait to see this coming weekend, where I think the bottom is clear too. So like when you're standing out on this pool, you're going to be looking down at everything down below. But this is going to be a suspended infinity pool. That's the hideaway. Neighborhood number 4 is going to be Central Park. We all know Central Park from the Oasis class. Now the big difference with the Central Park on the icon is they're doing all the infinite balconies. So you're not going to have those balconies hanging out over Central Park. They're actually going to be infinite balconies, which I think is a brilliant use of that particular type of cabin. It essentially gives you a bigger cabin. And then if you want some fresh air, you can put it down, but you're just going to have that floor to ceiling glass right there looking out. So I think that's an excellent.
And from a picture I saw, they're putting all sorts of colorful shutters too to make so from the outside it'll look all colorful.
It's going to look. It's almost going to look like a beachside town. I think it's really what it's going to look like. It's quite lovely how they're redesigning it. Kenneth, yes, you purchased the MNVVs on Virgin Voyages. Thank you so much. They're already transferred to me, so they're automatically. That's one of the things about booking with a travel advisor. When you book something on the ship, it automatically gets associated with that same travel agent that you booked the trip with. So thank you, Kenneth. I hope you guys had a good time on the Virgin Voyages. You were there for New Year's Eve. We'll talk about a little bit about that as well. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see you guys and talk about that some more. Douglas, having some coffee. I love it. I love it. All right. So we talked about Central Park. Chill Island. So Chill Island, kind of like what it sounds like. That is a beach area in the middle of the ship. It's supposed to be a little bit quieter. A little bit more laid back, a little bit more casual. We'll see. We'll see just what happens if it's really going to be like that when we get on there. Then the Aquadome. So you can't miss it. The ship looks like a beluga whale coming in. It's got that big, massive dome on the front of it. And what's interesting about the Aquadome is it's not just the Aqua Theater. It's an entire neighborhood that's wrapped up in that glass. In fact, some of the cabins are inside that glass. And I'm very interested. I'm hoping that on our cabin tour, this coming weekend, we're going to be able to see some of those cabins, and I'm very curious how all of that glass is going to come into play if you're inside the cabin. Is it going to get hot inside the cabin because there's so much glass in there? But that is a whole entertainment dining district with the dome. The Aqua Theater part of it is actually just one section of it way up in the front. The rest of it, I think there's a coffee shop in there. There's some other things to do in there. And
some of the restaurants I think are out of there, like Hooked, I think is in that area. And then there's that whole marketplace with different food stalls.
Yeah. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna figure this all out. Like I said, my plan is to try not to sleep for 3 days, starting next Saturday. See if I can stay
up. The Red Bull is free.
No, I'm not gonna have red. I can't stand Red Bull.
Okay,
but
coffee?
lots and lots of coffee.
Espresso.
Yeah,
nothing
lots of espresso. They're actually allowing us to just drink to our heart's content on the ship for the 3 days because they're just stress testing everything right now. There's actually 4 previews on the ship. There's 2 before us, 1 after us, and then January 27th, our good friends Ben, David, and Stef are all going to be on that ship. I'm sure every single vlogger is going to be on that January 27th sailing. So we left off with so we were talking about the Aquadome. Now at night, it looks gorgeous. I've seen, if you're not following Erica from America, especially on TikTok, we actually met her a long time ago at the Daily Show with Trevor Noah. They came to Miami, and we happened to sit right next to her with one of her friends, struck up this whole conversation.
And we had seen her on a ship like
a week before.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we can run into her and say hello. But if you're not following Erica from America, all one word, on TikTok, you should be. She already has 30 videos up on the icon. It's awesome. And once again, I'll invite you to like, subscribe, and do all that good stuff both on YouTube and TikTok. Please, we thank you for following along. And of course, if there's anything we can do to help you with your travels, where's WalterTravel.com? Links in the description on YouTube, and there are links on my logo. All right, so I hit so number 7, the Royal Promenade. That's the next neighborhood Royal Promenade. If you've been on Royal Caribbean, you know what that is. This is just going to be a massive version of it. I don't know how much bigger or smaller it will be from the Oasis class. The ship is not that much. Everybody's like, oh, biggest ship in the world, biggest ship in the world. Remember, Royal Caribbean just kind of, does a little something, something with the room, a little something, something with the room. It is bigger than the Oasis class, but it's not like, whoa. So if you've seen an Oasis class ship, it's not like, whoa, it's so much bigger than an Oasis class. It's kind of the same size. It's a different configuration. And if anything, it actually looked narrower than an Oasis class ship. I don't know if it is or not. I haven't looked at what the beam is on this ship compared to the Oasis, but it really didn't look like, because we're also used to seeing the Oasis class ship, it didn't look like, whoa, it's so much bigger than an Oasis class ship. So we all know the Royal Promenade, and then there's going to be a suite neighborhood. So essentially the retreat, as you know it on Celebrity, so they're calling it the suite neighborhood. It is an area reserved just for suite guests, kind of like your haven, your yacht club, your retreat. They're just calling it the suite neighborhood. So those are the 8 neighborhoods. I know I kind of ran through them a little bit fast. If you've got questions about any of them, I'll do my best to try to get you the answers for all of these. I'm going to go back for a second, make sure I didn't miss anything. Delray's going on the Utopia in September. Oh, that's going to be awesome. So I assume you mean September. Oh, no, that's right. September this year. Right. She's coming out this summer. Yeah, she's coming out this summer. I can't wait. And Utopia has the Pesky Parrot, which I'm so excited about, because on the Mariner of the Seas, we were introduced to the Bamboo Bar, which is one of my favorite bars to see. This looks like it's a bigger version of it, a kitschy, tiki bar and all of that. And I saw over here, Scott said, you're going on the Jubilee in 14 days. Scott's going on the Carnival Jubilee, the brand new. How many new ships do we have coming out all at once? Holy cow. But you're going on the Carnival Jubilee. Oh, man, I am so excited to hear about the Jubilee and what you think. We've got a bunch of clients going on the Carnival Jubilee. And, of course, we can't mention the Carnival Jubilee without talking about Galveston, which is just blowing up. You've got a Royal Class Princess ship there. Carnival Jubilee is there. MSC just announced that the Seaside is coming to Galveston.
I thought it was the Seascape.
Seascape is coming. 4 ships that all say sea. I can't keep them straight. But
it's the one with the Robotron.
One. Yeah, it's the one with the Robotron. So y'all can throw up all over Texas. And Norwegian sending the Viva over there too, or the Prima or the Viva. One of those two is coming over. So Galveston, people, if you live in the middle of the country, or maybe you even live in the West and you don't want to fly all the way to Florida, I mean, Galveston is starting to blow up with a lot of great ships over there with a lot of great options. Now, the only downside to Galveston is almost every itinerary is similar. They all go to the Western Caribbean. So you got Cozumel, Costa Maya, maybe Roatan, things like that. So you don't get that Eastern and Western alternative that you do in Florida, because they just can't get there. They would have to do like a 10 or a 14-day cruise to come on out and do the Eastern Caribbean. That's the only downside. But the plus side is you're getting really good ships in Galveston now. So, I mean, wow, Galveston is definitely coming on strong. So that is absolutely freaking amazing. Michael said it feels like -7 there today. Well, Michael, I'm glad we're here in Florida. Buffalo 720 fan. How are you, man? Good to see you. Kurt Gorman says the Sun Princess is getting closer. It is, and what Kurt is referring to is we have a group going out on the Sun Princess in October. So if y'all want to sail with Rebecca and I, you can come with us in October. We're going to check out the brand new Sun Princess for 7 days. That, of course, has its own dome up on top where they'll be doing shows and stuff. Not an aqua dome, but they do have their own.
Although it is starting in Europe in February
next month.
Yep.
So the Sun Princess is launching next month in February. I'm sure Ben and David are going to be on it at some point before we do. But yeah, so if you want to come along on the Sun Princess cruise, certainly come on along. Let's see, Denise. Denise is saying that you wish the Icon had a shorter, more affordable cruise. So definitely she's not going to do anything shorter than 7. Now, once we get away from the inaugural, the prices do drop. The prices do drop off fairly well, and they start to get a little bit more comparable to the Oasis. Look, the Icon is going to be the most expensive ship until the Star comes out, and it'll probably still be like right in line with the Star. Star has some crazy prices too. You just got to get away from the inaugural and then go with the traditional, book it in January or book it in September after the kids are back in school. That's when you're going to find some of the lowest prices for sure. But Icon, it's the newest ship. The newest ship is always the most expensive ship. So Nurse Tara is asking what's the closest airport to Galveston? That's going to be Houston, just like flying into Port Canaveral. So it's about an hour away. Actually, it's a little less than an hour away, I think. But it's pretty much the same thing as flying into Port Canaveral. You're going to fly into Houston, and then you will take the shuttles on down to Galveston. You can either stay in Houston for the night and take a shuttle the next day, or take a shuttle on down and stay at Galveston. Most of our clients do tend to stay down by the port. They'll fly in and then stay down by the port. So yeah, that would be that one. Liana said they're not going to sleep for 7 days. That's amazing. Liana's going to be there on January 27th. So anybody going on the January 27th sailing of the Icon of Seas, it's going to be a who's who of all the vloggers. They're all going to be there. So now the next thing I want to talk about is food. I really do want to talk about food. And I actually had to download a PDF for some of these things because there's just so much on the Icon that I can't even keep it all straight. Here we go. So of course, Icon's going to have the Windjammer. Icon's going to have a main dining room. Yes, so those two things are coming over from all of the other ships.
And your favorite too, that it's going to have from every other ship.
Yes. My least favorite pizza in the entire world is going to be there. And you know what? I'm going to have to try it. Who knows? Who knows if Royal Caribbean actually made it better on this ship? I don't have a whole lot of hope that it's going to be better on this ship, but you never know. You never know. So I do have to give it a chance.
If you were fond of your grade school cafeteria pizza, you might like this. You might,
but then again, you might not. But let's talk about some of the different things. So you've still got your Windjammer, and then of course you're going to have your main dining room. Next, you're going to have the Surfside Eatery. So I talked about the Surfsides in the very back of the ship. This is the cutout here. The Surfside is going to be back in this area. It's basically the same deck where you would typically have playmakers, and then you would have the Aqua Theater show. Well, that's where the water park is going to be, and most of that dining is going to be right in this area as well. You got the Surfside Eatery, which is family-friendly eats for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So don't expect anything spectacular, just simple things food all day long. You've got Pier 7, all-day brunch spot with a laid-back vibe. I like that idea. I don't know exactly where that is. Let's see if they show it here. No, that's the problem. We don't know where. I haven't looked at the entire deck plan in a while. So of course, with 21 decks or whatever this thing is, it's got 12 passenger decks. So, but we have Pier 7, all-day brunch spot. I like that idea. I like the idea of all-day brunch. Surfside bites, so just quick nausea. Plus, they're going to have Sprinkles ice cream again in the Surfside area. Base camp, home base for delicious provisions in the middle of Thrill Island. So, concession stand at a theme park is what I'm thinking right now. And then something called Deserted a Milkshake Bar. Yes, that sounds like a winner to me. A milkshake bar. Monstrous mashup that are as snappable as they are sippable. So it sounds like they're going to be big. If you've seen, they're doing these mason jar things a lot here in Universal. We've got a place that does these mason jar.
I think they have one somewhere. They do it in Disney too.
Yeah. They're saying that the must-try is a cookies and cream milkshake. I'm wondering if they're going to have any alcoholic ones for adults. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. They'll probably have some sort of thing. Now, in the Aquadome, this is kind of cool. They have kind of a like a food hall kind of a thing set up. They're calling it the Aquadome Market. It's 5 unique food stands with a smorgasbord of options.
Yeah, I bet I know which is going to be your favorite.
I don't know, but we got a place called Max, so I'm assuming that's mac and cheese.
Yes, it is.
Got something called Ginger.
That's Asian.
Oh, Asian food. Nice. Feta, which is going to be Mediterranean. Creme de la crepe. Ooh, crepes. Ooh, I like that. And then toast and garden. I assume that's going to be salads and sandwiches.
Yeah.
Things like that. So that's going to be a little five little food stalls together in the Aqua Dome. And then Izumi, this is interesting. Now, I don't know, I can't remember from the deck plans if we have a full sit-down Izumi, but there's going to be an Izumi in the park. It's an all-day window with Japanese street food and sushi rolls in to-go boxes. So this is something that we saw on Utopia, where they're bringing Izumi up in the Central Park. So so you're saying, yes, Rebecca, there is a full restaurant as well?
And I believe it's got the teppanyaki side and the sushi side. I'm just checking the app.
Yeah, so and the app is working. You know, we're booked on the ship, so we can actually see everything on the ship right now. Hey, Jerry, how are you? And we saw this on the Utopia of the Seas, where they introduced the Izumi in the park. They're saying that the must-try
have hibachi and sushi.
So they have hibachi, and so they do,
and then to go. So
they have the traditional Izumi restaurant on the ship as well. We're going to know all of this once we get on board. Part of you all have been so amazing with us. We've been so busy booking and so busy creating so many memories and vacations with y'all that I haven't had a chance to go back and look at the icon for a while. Plus, we've been traveling so much. Then we've got the Pearl Cafe. So the Pearl is that new showcase kind of in the middle. It's got the square glass on either side of the ship. It's right sitting in there. It looks gorgeous. I don't even know how to describe it until we see it. I'm going to have to go see it to figure out what is it going to be. But freshly toasted sandwiches, ready-made salads, and sweet treats with a show. That sounds really interesting. So that's going to be in the Pearl Cafe. They're calling that Quick Bites Between Adventures. And then they've got two high-end restaurants that now the sad thing about our preview, none of the restaurants are going to be open for us to test. What they're going to do instead, the days 1 and 2 on the cruise, they're going to have tastings. They're going to be putting out sample plates, so I will be able to taste some of the food. I just won't be able to tell you what the restaurant experiences are like because they're not going to have the restaurants open during the previews, at least not during our preview. Maybe on the last one they might, just to go ahead and get them running. But they will at least allow us to try them out. So I'll be able to bring you, I think they're doing like 3 or 4 hours the first 2 days where we're going to have tasting menus. But this is really cool. Empire Supper Club. Now they're calling this Dress Up for Dinner. So make sure if you're going to be booking these, just know, at least bring a nice pair of slacks, bring down maybe a button-down shirt so that you look a little nicer for these. But Empire Supper Club, I am loving this. A lavish night of luxury with curated menu of premium American cuisine. Now that sounds absolutely freaking amazing. And I've even brought it up. Delve into decadence at the Empire Supper Club. It's in the Central Park. There's going to be a Central Park restaurant. They're saying putting on the rich with a taste of old New York. It is an 8-course menu. 8 courses. So, and that's a good question, Nurse Tara. Is that going to replace the chef's table? I don't know, because this is actually a restaurant. So this is not a special event where they set it up. And actually, the one that might this is a restaurant. The one that could replace the chef's table is the celebration table. So they've got a special occasion to get the VIP treatment with your choice prefix menus, and that is the celebration table. So you can it's for 12 people only. And you can choose from an American, Italian, Asian, and seafood prefix menus, all served family style, which is actually kind of cool. So that's different than a chef table where they, the high-end service, they drop it all for you. The chef comes out and explains it. This is actually going to be family style along with a signature cocktail. Now, again, this may or may not replace the chef dinner, but it's called the VIP.
And on the app, it says it's an exclusive dining experience for you and 13 of your closest crew. So it might be just your group.
Yeah. So
no strangers.
So the celebration table sounds like, and who knows if they're going to open it up to other people. But that's obviously going to be a very expensive dinner. Empire Supper Club, probably going to be an expensive dinner. Since we are on a preview, we can't see, or can you see the pricing on the
No, I can't see the pricing. They don't have the menus in here. Hopefully they'll show us at least the menus. Yeah,
so once we're on board, we might have the menus, and then we can at least, hopefully find out how much how much these dinners are going to be. So, but those two brand new restaurants, Empire Supper Club and then the Celebration Table. The Empire Supper Club, I mean, an 8-course meal. Are you friggin' kidding me? And no, I don't see the menu online yet either. So it would be nice if they showed that. But we will be able to learn more about that next Saturday when we're on board. So, Cindy, you're saying you're only 4 hours from Galveston. That's fabulous. I would not be surprised if one of these ships ends up there. I mean, we've got a third one coming in 2026, I think it was. They just cut the first steel on it. So Icon number 3 is already under construction. Star is coming to Port Canaveral. I would not be shocked if the third ship comes over to Galveston, because now you've got the Jubilee sitting over there. You've got some of the bigger ship. The Seascape is coming in over there. I would not be surprised at all, especially since they built that terminal for the Oasis class ship. She can handle the Icon class. She should be able to handle the Icon class, no problem. So I would not be surprised. So yeah. Anybody who is currently booked on an Icon ship, you should be able to see the pricing for those restaurants. We can't because we're booked on a preview cruise, but certainly we're going to have all the information. You should call Steph right now and see if she knows how much those are.
She probably can find out.
Mm-hmm. So that's part of the thing about being on the travel agent. So being a travel agent, we can't necessarily see it.
Stacy Dreams Disney's on in February.
Yeah, you're on February 10th.
It.
So, so you can see. Can you see the pricing on those restaurants? Because we currently can't right now. And actually, maybe I can in the booking engine. I'm just not in the booking engine right now because I'm talking to you all. All right. So what else to talk about here? So I've talked about, oh my God, cabin categories. This is going to be a 3-hour show. There are 27 or 28 categories of cabins on there. There you go. So chef table. So there is still a chef table, 109 without the discount. So Nurse Tara, there is still a chef table dinner. That kind of makes sense, especially if the celebration table is going to be a private table for 12 people, because the chef table anybody can book to come on into it. So that's really cool. But yeah, so let's see, 1, 2, yeah, there's 27 categories of cabins on this particular ship. So I know somebody was saying, hey, it's kind of expensive. Yep, you were right, Nurse Tara, $200 per person for the Empire Supper Club. Thank you, Stacy. You're awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with everybody. Yeah, $200 per person. That sounds about right. That is an 8-course meal, everybody. 8 freaking courses. Now, what's interesting, that Supper Club, $200 per person. I wonder if that gives us some insight on that train meal that's coming on the Utopia. That's not going to be cheap either. Wow. Celebrate. Actually, that's not bad. Stacy just posted that the celebration table is $9.99. Well, $1,000 per package for 12 people.
Well, it said you and 13, so 14 people.
But on
maximum.
Here, it said 12. So I guess
okay.
maybe they've changed it. So it's saying that it's $1,000 per pack. Man, that's not bad when you divide that by 12 or 14 people. That's actually really good, man. That's wow. But again, it's family style. So that kind of cuts down on the cost because, they're not making these little individual meals and serving it. So they're just kind of passing stuff around. So it's actually going to be a lower cost meal for Royal to make than a chef's table. But yeah, $1,000 per packet. That's actually really good for folks who are traveling in a group, family reunion, something like that. You got 12 or 14 people. You divide that out. That's less than the chef's table. Actually, that's a really, wow, Royal Caribbean. That's a really good deal, to be honest with you. The VIP includes with a signature cocktail. So it doesn't say drinks are included, but it does say a signature cocktail is included. Beyond that, whether extra wine and things are going to be included, who knows? But if you do have a drink package, obviously that should be covered by that. And see on here, it says you and 11 of your closest crew. So maybe they figured out, maybe they made the table a little bigger. They can get 14 people on there.
Let me check again on that.
Which kind of makes sense. So the thing about Icon of the Seas, full occupancy is around 5,500, right? Double occupancy is around 5,500, but then it suddenly jumps up to 7,500 if it's full. And the reason why is because it has the most triples, quads, 5, 6, 8 in a single cabin, pretty much of any cruise ship out there. So that's why there's that huge jump in number from 5,500 up to about 7,500, because it can hold so many people. So it makes sense that they would up that to 14 people to get into that.
Yeah, on
that
the app it does say
table.
you and 13 of your closest.
Yeah,
but who knows? The app's totally not perfect as well.
Yeah, so that totally makes sense. The app is probably more updated than the website, to be honest with you.
True.
Hey, Chuck and Mary, how are you? So, folks, if you're just tuning in, I'm Walter from Where's Walter Travel. We try to do this cruise chat every single Sunday, answer your questions about cruising. And today we are kind of diving into the Icon of the Seas, because we will be on the Icon of the Seas next Saturday. But, of course, if you have questions about anything cruising, please just jump in, ask the questions, and we will be happy to try to get the answers for you. So, good morning, Chris. How are you? Are we familiar with, Chris, are we familiar with NCL's included alcohol package, not top shelf? Can you upgrade? Great question. So there are two ways that you can get the drink package. One, the way most people get it is the free at sea package, where you just simply pay for the gratuities for the week, and Royal Caribbean gives you a drink package, all drinks up to $15, not top shelf liquor, no coffee. Yes, or you can just buy it. You can pay for it, which is much more expensive. You're better off taking the free at sea if you want the basic drink package. So take the free at sea, then yes, you can upgrade it. And when you upgrade it, I don't know if you necessarily get top shelf liquor, but you're going to get better liquor, and it does add in the Starbucks coffee as well, which is really good. So you're going to have to look at the terms and conditions of that. So I only look at the free at sea all the time for our guests, but it does, I think it raises it up from $15 to $20 drinks, and it will change, some of the spirits that you can get as well. The big thing that I know is that it adds the coffee, because that's important to me. I love getting the free coffee. But
at the same time, I know if all you're interested in is the coffee, the pricing isn't worth it. Mm-hmm. If you want the higher end liquors, then yes, it would probably be worth it.
So Chris, and the thing of it is, I know you both have to get free at sea. I think you're both going to have to upgrade, but I'm not 1,000% sure on that. But yes, you can upgrade it, and it's a heck of a lot cheaper to get the free at sea and then upgrade to it than to just buy it straight up. So since you've got the free at sea, yes, you should be able to go into the app or go into your account online and actually purchase the upgrade. Otherwise, you can ask your travel advisor to do it. If you don't have a travel advisor, you just call Royal Caribbean and ask them to upgrade your Norwegian drink package. See how that goes. Call Norwegian Cruise Line and just have them do it for you. Jada, are we planning a group Panama Canal cruise? Actually, we have one that's booking right now. Our good friend Peter over at Cruise RX on YouTube. If you're not a subscriber yet, you should be. Cruise RX. They bring you news and updates on all things cruising. And Panama Canal is happening. In fact, I don't have a graphic for it. But the Panama Canal cruise, let me bring it up so I don't give you the wrong information. It's going to be the Oceana Serena, which is the same ship that we were just on for the holidays. So only 650 guests. And it's taking a while to load. It's in April. I know it's in April.
2025.
Yeah. Let me bring up the information so I can give you the right information. But what's really cool about this one, it is a 20-day Panama Canal cruise, 20 days, okay? But here's the cool thing about it. You're going to go through the Panama Canal twice, all the way through the Panama Canal twice. So it's actually March 23rd through April 20th, 2025, round trip Miami. That's the other cool thing about it. It's a full transit, but it's a round trip, so you only got to fly to one place. But what you're going to do, you're basically going to do a Western Caribbean. You're going to go through the Panama Canal. You're going to stay in Panama City. You're going to come back. Then you're going to do the ABCs. So you leave Miami. You go to Cozumel, Costa Maya, Santo Tomas, Guatemala, Harvest Key, Belize, Roatan, Honduras, Puerto Limon, Costa Rica. You're going to go westbound all the way through the Panama Canal. You're going to arrive at Panama City. You'll stay one full day in Panama City. You're going to come back eastbound. You're going to go to Cartagena, Colombia. You're going to go Santa Marta, Colombia, Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, Port Antonio, Jamaica, and back to Miami. 20 days.
And the only thing wrong with it is they're doing the ABCs out of order.
Yeah. So it's 20 days on the ship. It is for sale right now. If you go to our website, Where's Walter Travel, I think I have a link. I hope I have a link in the descriptions. If I don't have a link in the description, I'll definitely put it in there for you guys. But it is one heck of a cruise. And as part of the package, you're getting the prepaid gratuities, which is a $720 value right there, prepaid gratuities. So the thing about Oceania is nearly all inclusive. So I don't know if I posted the thing on the buffet yet, but on the buffet alone on Oceania, every night at dinner, you can get made to order lobster tails, shrimp, sirloin steak, lamb chops, and fish of the day every single night on the buffet. And then every single day at the pool grill, you can get lobster medallions. You can get a surf and turf sandwich. I did a hamburger with lobster medallions on it. That's all included. All of that's included. Beer, wine, champagne is included with lunch and dinner, unlimited Wi-Fi. Really, the only thing that's not included is the gratuities on an Oceania cruise. So that is the group cruise that we have booking right now for 2025. We may do another one at some point, maybe one that just goes from one side to the other. But right now, this is a spectacular cruise that the guys over at Cruise RX have booking. And if you go to our website, where'swaltertravel.com, go to group travel, you'll see that along with the other two cruises that we have going on.
Unfortunately, we will not be on it because of other.
We will not be on the cruise because
it looks like an amazing cruise.
Yes, because we're going to be on we got two big groups in May and June. So we're going to be on the Norwegian Aqua, May 31st through June 7th. That's also on sale on our website. And then the big one for us is we're going to Alaska on the Oceania Riviera for 12 days. Now that includes the prepaid gratuities and the drink package upgrade. As far as I know, we're the only ones that have the drink package upgrade from Oceania. It's fabulous. So that is that I do have a picture of to show you guys over on the YouTube side. But so if anybody wants to go on the Panama Canal and you want to go on one of the most spectacular cruises that you've probably ever been on, this is a great ship, 650 people. I mean, it's a whole different way of cruising. And I think one of the best part was no chair hogs. Like you could actually go out to the pool any time of the day and you could just relax at the pool.
There was one or two people.
But I mean, it's like all the chairs were there.
But you could definitely always find a chair.
Yeah, I mean, there was this one couple that always had to have the corner chairs, which was just kind of funny, but it's not like every chair was hogged up. You could just go out there any time of the day and get a chair.
And they were nice. So, they were thick padding.
Yeah,
it was
very nice. So
now you may not always be able to find one in the shade or in the sun, depending on what you like, but you will be able to find a chair. Yeah.
And Jada, you referred some friends to Alaska. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. We appreciate all of your referrals. It means the world to us when you think enough of us that you actually refer us to somebody else. So we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. We're getting more and more of those. Hey, so-and-so told us to reach out to you. Of course, we're very fortunate to have our travel partnership with the amazing Stephanie Mullen, Sean Stef channel, with just two of the nicest guys you will ever meet in your life. Cruise with Ben and David. We are their travel partner. Now we're a travel partner with Cruise RX. Peter is awesome. And our newest cruise partnership, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. I'm going to be on his podcast too, the Joy of Cruising podcast. If you haven't found the Joy of Cruising podcast yet, Paul has a great show going on. I listened to him talking to Chef Rudy yesterday. Chef Rudy, Rudy Seldamare, The Catch by Rudy, Rudy Sea Grill on Carnival. Yeah, 1 hour conversation with him. How fascinating. It was awesome. So we now have 4 travel partnerships, and we're very thankful to everybody for trusting us to take care of their fans and for us to take care of your family and friends. So we're very thankful to all y'all. Douglas, you settled on the Aqua this morning. Hey, that's exciting. We'll definitely have to talk more about that soon. I literally have 5 hours of phone calls today, so it's going to be fun. I don't know if we'll talk today, Douglas, but let's talk about that at some point soon. Okay, and folks, again, if you like what we're doing, please hit the like buttons and subscribe and all that good stuff. Oh, David, great question, because we just did it. The train, a good option for South Florida cruising. What a great question. We literally just did it. I haven't had time to post a video yet. So we went on the Valiant Lady for 4 nights. I'm a top 100 sales agent for Virgin Voyages, so they invited us. So we took the Brightline train. David's talking about now. Let's set this up for people who don't know. There is a train called the Brightline train, brand new private train. It looks like a high-speed train. It does go fast at times, but it's not truly a high-speed train because it does have to slow down a lot. So what this does, it starts at the Orlando airport. So it could not be more convenient. If you fly into the Orlando airport, you can literally walk from baggage claim and then get right onto the train and head to South Florida. So what this does, it connects South Florida with Orlando. Once you leave Orlando, you don't stop until you get West Palm Beach. I think
West
the first
Palm
stop.
Beach, yeah.
So that's the high speed part of it. That's where it can get up to 100 miles an hour or close to 100 miles an hour from Orlando to West Palm Beach for parts of it. Then it stopped in West Palm Beach, Adventura.
Well, that's right before Miami. There's West Palm Beach.
West Palm Beach.
There's
Fort
Boca.
Lauderdale.
There's something else too.
Yeah, there's like 5 stops down there, but the two big ones that are important for cruisers, Fort Lauderdale and Miami. So both of those are on it. It is so lovely. So what we did was there's 2 ways you can travel on it. One, you can travel what they call smart. That would be your coach class, if you will, or you can go premium, which is your first class. The biggest difference is the seats are a little bit bigger in the premium, and there's only 3 across. Yeah, 3 across instead of 4 across. That's the biggest thing. So the seats are a little bit wider, and then there's less seats. The other thing too is you have a premium lounge to wait in. They have snacks, they have breakfast, they'll have lunch, they have beer and wine and coffee in the premium lounge. Then when you're on the train, they serve you stuff that's all included. So all of that is included.
With the premium.
Yeah, with the premium. And then on the in the smart section, all of that stuff is available, but it's available for cost. It's literally just like flying on a plane, right? So if you want, I think coffee was included. Did I pay for the coffee?
Yes,
I did pay for the coffee. Okay. So
well, technically I paid for it, but
yeah,
yes.
Technically she paid for it. But so in the coach section, you just pay for everything. But here's the beauty of it, okay? There are 2 actual power outlets available for each rider. There's a set of power outlets in the seat along with 2 USB, and then on the floor, there's another power outlet with a set of USBs. So there's plenty of power. And I had my laptop set up. I worked for 3.5 hours on the train ride down. So we took the smart on the way down, the regular coach, if you will. Then we took the premium on the way back. Premium was nice, but what I will say is you don't really have to pay that extra money. The seats are super comfortable both ways. It's the same seat, except just like there's 3 inches wider in the premium. And I actually like the table configuration in the smart section because the table was a little closer to me.
Although they did have that configuration in the premium.
They did, but they had a lot more of the tables facing each other.
But they did have that.
Yeah, which is the same issue I had. So on the way down in the coach section, if you will, it was real easy to bring my laptop close to me and I could work. Whereas on the premium section, the laptop was so far away, I was kind of like stretching. And for some reason on the ride back, it was much rougher. On the way back, the train was shaking more, so it was a little harder to work. So I don't know if they were different tracks that we were on, going north and south, or the same track, but it was a little bit of a rougher ride. But I'm telling you, folks, you now can combine. You can now combine South Florida tours with Orlando theme parks if you want to. Or you can sail out of Port Canaveral, come back to Orlando, and go on down and hang out in Miami Beach for a while. It takes about 3.5 hours. Super easy. And when we went down, it was pouring rain. I was so happy that we were on the train. And then coming back, I mean, it's just so nice. Just sit and relax. For us, it's only a 3.5, almost 4-hour drive to get down to Miami, so it's not really that bad. But it was absolutely lovely. From the port to get to anywhere, Uber, Lyft, super easy. I mean, super. And then getting back, super easy. Especially Miami, Fort Lauderdale, they are flooded with Lyft and Uber. So the cost, good question. on some, I'm going to say on some cruises, but on some routes, it can be as low as $55 for the Smart. It can be as high as $99 for it's like $55 and $99 for the coach, the Smart section. And then I think $129 up to close to $200 for the premium. And that all depends, like even on the same day, it's just like an airline flight. Even on the same day, you know, certain routes.
Prime hours are more.
Yeah.
Holidays are more.
Oh, holidays are out there.
Yeah.
Holidays are way up. So if you want to try and use it during, like, say, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, you're going to be paying a lot for it.
And I will say that even if we'd done the Smart both ways, it would have been cheaper to drive and park, but the aggravation made it a much more pleasant thing to do, even with the extra money.
We did 79, right? It was 79.
Yeah, I believe so.
So it was about $300 for the two of us. Excuse me, $80, 160, 320. So it was 320 for us to do the round trip down there. And yes, that was more than it would have cost us to park down there. But it was very good. Yeah, so you can get the Brightline for as low as $55 standard each way. When I booked it, they weren't running any of the specials, so it was $75 in each direction. And actually, I could have gotten cheaper if we went later in the afternoon, but I didn't want to go later in the afternoon. So, but yeah, you can get $45 fares, and you can get kids ride free. I've seen some of that showing up.
Or kids ride half price sometimes.
Yeah. So they're doing just like everybody else, right? They're offering specials, deals, sales. Certainly, create an account, get yourself the app. You're going to get things sent to you if you do that. So the Brightline is legit. It is lovely. And yes, it does cost money, but it is lovely.
And on the Orlando end, we did one of the off-site airport parking.
Yeah, there's something called Wally Park. People call me Wally, so it's just a natural. But Wally Park is one of the only off-site parking here in Orlando that handles the Brightline stop. So that's why we did. We parked our car at Wally Park. We caught the shuttle over, dropped us off literally right there. I can't remember which terminal it is, but where the Wally Park dropped us off, we went up an escalator and the Brightline was right there, literally. Oh, here's the other cool thing we did. When we went down to Miami, I actually booked the train 1 hour too early. We showed up in Miami about 20 after 11, and boarding on the Scarlet Lady didn't start till 1:30. So what we actually did when we got off the train, we just turned and we stayed in the lounge. You know, even the Smart Lounge has, the coach, you got a big lounge and it's comfortable seating. There's a bar there. There's food to purchase. I mean, you got
power outlets, USB
power
outlets.
It's just relaxing. So we literally relaxed in the Miami station for an hour, and then we called an Uber and headed over. And we got to the port about 1 o'clock, and our boarding started at 1:30. So that's another little tip for y'all. If you get to Fort Lauderdale, you get to Miami, and you're way early for the boarding, or even if you're like, hour and a half before the boarding, instead of heading over to the port and just standing out there and waiting for the terminal to open, just hang out in the Brightline train station. It's lovely.
And you'll have clean bathrooms.
Clean bathrooms, everything like that too.
And there was at the bar, there was some fruit infused water that was free that you could get.
Yeah.
But you could purchase other drinks and other food. If
exactly. So I'll be doing a TikTok and a YouTube on it as well. But the Brightline is legit. It's worth it. Rick is saying that group rates 10 for 44. You can also get business rates. You can get all kinds of things with the Brightline. So the Brightline is just like any other business out there. They're offering all kinds of special things.
And if you have it, in fact, it's just like airlines. And if you have luggage that's big enough that you have to check it, that's a fee.
It is a fee. So if you've got oversized luggage. Now, we did notice a guy who came on and shoved a full-size luggage over top. And I was shocked that it even fit, but there's all that overhead right above you for carry-ons, and all the seats are assigned. So you should have space up there. But if you do have to check a bag that's going to stay up in the front, you're supposed to pay an extra fee for that. I don't know if they check that, but
it's also like most airlines in that you get one carry-on and one personal item free.
Yeah. And so obviously we had no problem with that. And that's going to be the same thing when we go on the Icon. We're doing the train again. It's only 3 days. but we're doing the train again because I'll tell you what, I'm kind of done as much as I can. In fact, I'm going to a conference in Fort Lauderdale in April, a cruise conference, of course. But I think I'm going to take the train to that as well. So I don't even have to drive to Fort Lauderdale for that. I'll just get an Uber over to the hotel and then I'm done.
And in that case, it definitely will be cheaper because parking at hotels in both Miami and Fort Lauderdale can be very expensive.
Yes. So, whoops. Oh, they do check bags. Thank you, Yolanda. Yolanda's saying that they do definitely check those bags for the pricing. So, and actually I did notice that they also had a baggage claim off the train, so they can even load the luggage for you and then they'll bring it to baggage
and you do have to also, like airlines, you do have to go through a security. Your luggage has to go through a scanner.
Kathy's saying, how does one get from Tampa to Miami or vice versa? So that's a really good question because that's not like a normal run. I know that there are buses. Now, one thing you could potentially do, and I don't know how this works out time-wise and everything, but you could also, catch a shuttle or something over to Orlando Airport if you wanted to, and then just catch the Brightline and go down. That would be a pretty straight shot. But I know that there are buses. I don't know anything offhand, but I had this conversation with a client who lived in Venice, which is south of Tampa, and we were trying to figure out what was the easiest way for them to get over there. But it is not the easiest thing to do to get from Tampa. Like I said offhand, I know you can get from Tampa to Orlando very easily. There's a lot of run, but there's certainly going to be a bus. There may be a combination of bus and train that's going to get you from Tampa to Miami.
You can rent a car.
Well, yeah, you could rent a car if you want to drive it. Yeah, no, you could.
That is an option.
You could. And Sandy just brought up a good point too. There are plans right now to bring the Brightline to Tampa, which is going to be fabulous. So when that happens, you'll be able to catch the Brightline in Tampa. And it'll be about a 5.5 hour ride, but you'll take the train from Tampa to Orlando and then catch the Brightline all the way to Miami. And then that will be a super easy way to get from Tampa to Miami. But that's coming. That is coming. There was talk of bringing the Brightline over to Port Canaveral, but there has been a big uproar by that whole shuttle industry. There's a huge shuttle industry that gets people from Port Canaveral to Orlando Airport. They do not want the train coming there. I did notice that the train does get pretty close to Port Canaveral, actually probably within 20 minutes of Port Canaveral. If they built the station right as the train sits now, you could shorten that run by just simply taking the train to that particular point, and then the shuttles could pick you up from there, but it would be, a lot less. So it's coming to Tampa, and apparently it's coming to Las Vegas and Los Angeles. They're building a line. That's going to be amazing for all y'all living there, so you don't have to hop that short flight or drive between the two. I used to go to Las Vegas. I think I've been to Las Vegas 20 times for the National Association of Broadcasters in my previous life when I worked in television. But yeah, so that's going to be great. So anybody considering, and we're starting to talk about this now with some of our clients that are taking a South Florida cruise, combining it with, now it's very easy to combine it with Universal, with Disney, with Legoland, with SeaWorld, with whatever, or just anything else up this way. This is now a very viable and very easy way to do it because the train is comfortable. It's lovely. Oh, it really does. I'm so glad that we actually took it because it is absolutely 100% legit. Costs money, yes. Is it worth it? I think it's 1,000% worth it for the coach. It's up to you whether you want to pay the extra for the premium. The premium is nice. The lounge is lovely. I made a lovely breakfast sandwich in there. I had a great cappuccino in there. And of course, on the train, she just kept bringing us stuff the whole time. It wasn't a full train, so we ended up talking to the woman quite a bit. She was great.
I will say the only thing that annoyed me personally as a non-meat eater in the lounge is they just had a kind of communal set of tongs for the hot food.
Yeah.
So you were picking up the eggs, you were picking up the waffles, you were picking up the sausage, all with the same tongs.
Yeah, they should have had different tongs for each of those. Didn't bother me at all, but that's okay.
Yeah, I just had other stuff.
Yes. Brandy, would it be a bit of a red flag to book with an agent that hasn't been to where you are trying to go? I would say no, because there are so many places in the world. We can't go everywhere. Now, one of the things like us, so we're Where's Walter Travel, but we're part of KHM Travel Group, which is about, 5,100, 5,200 agents. So if we haven't been somewhere, we have a whole, network of folks to talk to. And in fact, I was at an event yesterday. I went to a training event yesterday where I met some just amazing agents who are just booking things all over the world. And that's one. So we have multiple ways to do, we have multiple ways to communicate, to talk about things. And beyond that, we have the most amazing partners. So for example, I have a client that I booked on the Norwegian Epic in Italy. They wanted to go on the Epic. They're going to Italy, Mediterranean cruise, but then they wanted 5 or 7 days in Italy on land with a specific set of requirements that they wanted. Now, I haven't been to all of these places yet, but my tour partner that I work with certainly has. And within 2 hours, she had a whole itinerary drawn up. We got the flights on there. We got every single transfer on there. We've got tours on every day except one. We left one day open so they can do whatever they want. Hotels are on there. We're going to get them to the cruise port. We're going to get them back from the cruise port. We're going to get them to a hotel, like literally within 2 hours. And she had the perfect itinerary put together. So, you know, we can't go everywhere. We can't know every last thing. And that's why we have this network. It's very similar. You know, when I worked in television, I told folks, you know, if somebody says they know everything, just walk away, because you can't know everything. But what you can do is you can build a network around you. Collectively, you know so much more than any single person ever would. So, yeah, I mean, if somebody's trying to talk you out of where, I don't know your situation. There are times
where you were trying to go.
Yeah, where you're trying to go. There are times where I will talk to a client and say, are you really sure that you want to go on this ship or to that place or to this thing? You know, it's a dialogue. It should be a dialogue. Yeah. Your travel advisor should be a partner. It should not be, I tell you, you take it or leave it. If that's the relationship that you have with a travel advisor, walk away, because it should be a partner. Oh, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Oh my goodness. That's fabulous. Oh, San Juan.
Why in the world would they try and talk you out of that?
Why would they talk you out of going to there? Holy cow.
That's amazing.
It truly is amazing. I want to go back. Well, we've never just been to Puerto Rico. We've been to we've been to Old San Juan on a cruise, but I would love to go there when we can spend a day or two, because Old San Juan is so amazing to walk around. You never know what you're going to walk into. And I really want to go fly a kite at the fort. It's like one of the only places where you can fly a kite. So that'd be awesome.
I will say, and this is nothing to do with us being travel agents, I have not necessarily heard the most complimentary reviews on AAA travel.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to let her say it.
If you look at reviews for them, yeah, you can judge for yourself.
Yeah.
And it can vary per location as well.
It can also vary per agent too.
That's true. So, yes.
Yeah. So, but anyway, but Old San, I would go to, now you might want to be careful at night. You know, we've never been there at night, and, you know, walking around, it is kind of a dark city and all that. It's just like anywhere else. Be aware of your surroundings, right? Wherever you go, maybe don't walk alone. You know, our friend Stephanie did a video from Nassau, and she was walking back to the ship at night, and she said right in the video, I'm very glad I've got Ben and David with me. I have two people walking with me. If I was walking by myself, I'd be a little nervous. That's Nassau, Bahamas, where, you know, the cruise ships are there all day long, every day. So, Catherine, hello, Catherine, how are you? Have we cruised or done a video on NCL? You didn't find one on the search. We have cruised NCL. It was before I was really blogging, so I don't have a whole lot of videos. What you will find is you will find some long videos. I have a cruise relaxation series, and there's about a dozen videos from the Norwegian Escape on there. And anybody watching this, you know, if you want to take a cruise, you want to get your cruise fixed when you're not on a cruise ship, I have over 40 hours of cruise relaxation videos on the YouTube channel, and that is the playlist, cruise relaxation. I got views of the wake. I got views from the balcony. I've got one that I've got to upload shortly from Ocean Key, with the water just splashing in and the wave kicking up. That's really, really cool. So yes, we have gone on NCL. We've done the Escape, and we've done the Getaway. Loved it.
And NCL we have the group cruise for
line.
The Aqua.
Huh?
And we have that group cruise for
then we have the big group cruise on the Aqua. So Karen, if you want to join us, in fact, I'll just go ahead and pop that up on the screen. The NTL Aqua is coming on May 31st, and we're offering $100 onboard credit with that particular cruise. So plus we have 15% off the public prices. We can't even advertise the public prices, our prices, because we're not allowed to. But I will say that if you book the Norwegian Aqua on this particular cruise with the free at sea is less than the standard price for the Norwegian Aqua without the free at sea right now. So if you wanted to book that with us, that's going to be May 31st through June 7th, 2025. The ship will only be out for a month at that point. So we're going to be, one of the first sailings.
And that's out of Port Canaveral.
Yeah, it's out of Port Canaveral. Cannot wait. So Catherine, we have done it. If you'd like to reach out, if anybody would like to reach out to us, it's super simple. Where's WalterTravel.com. If you're watching us on YouTube, there are links in the description to set up a time on our calendar. If you're watching on TikTok, you click that little logo, go into the link tree. The very first link is contact us. You can set up a time to chat with us. So we'd be more than happy to chat with you, to help you out with anything that you guys want. Michael McIntyre, yes, he went on the Escape for his very first cruise. In fact, Michael, we were just so excited for that one. I love Michael to death. Michael and his mom were our very first booking. Literally, the first booking that we made. They were the third proposal that we put together. They were the first people to book. And when they went out on that cruise this year, I was just so over the moon when they went out there. And then they had a great time. They had an absolutely great time. And what a great picture, Michael, with the baby. Oh, that's such a great picture. I love that. Rick, on Princess, will they let you add a third traveler on a booked cruise? Yes, but, and this is true for every single cruise line. Yes, but you've got to be in a cabin that can hold 3 people. If you are not, then we have to move you to another cabin. The other but is you will be refared at the current cruise rate for 3 people. So it's not like you just go, oh, we're just going to throw a third person in there. It's just going to be the same price. It may not be like, let's just say that when you booked your cruise, it was $1,000 for 3 people to be in the cabin, just to make it simple, right? Now, today, it's $1,500 for 3 people to be in a cabin. Well, that's what, when we change it out, that's what it's going to be. So it's going to be $500 more than it would have been had you booked it. So the answer is yes, but there has to be a 3-person cabin available, and you will be fared at the current rate. And Rebecca wants to say something.
One more, but
yeah,
even if your cabin is showing on the deck plans as being able to hold 3 people, there also has to be space in the lifeboats for that section of ship.
Yeah, that's a big thing about cruising, and a lot of people don't understand. It's like, well, wait, the cabin can hold 3 people, and the system is saying I can't do it. So you know about the muster stations. Everybody knows about my muster station is D1. Well, D1 has a capacity for the lifeboat. Let's just say 300 people. Make it super simple. So once muster station D1 has 300 people booked, it doesn't matter what the configuration of the cabin is, but if there are 300 people now booked in D1, nobody else can be booked into D1. So if you have a 3-person cabin, you got a 4-person cabin, you're like, I want to add 1 or 2 people. They're going to say, no, you can't. You're going to have to move to another station. Yes.
And the other thing is that when there is a single person who has booked a cabin that holds 2 people, they are counted as 2 spots in the lifeboat.
They are. So basically, once a lifeboat reaches capacity, a muster station reaches capacity, nobody can be booked in that muster station. And that's why, I've had some clients say, but the cabin can hold 3 people, or there's all these cabins that can hold 3 people. Like right there, I want to have a cabin right next to my friend. I can't put you there because the lifeboat, I can put 2 people in the cabin. I can't put that 3rd one or that 4th one because they've hit that double occupancy limit, and that's it. So yeah, it's very interesting. That is one of the things about cruising that's so unique about cruising, is that even if there is that space, you can get a cabin with 3 or 4 people. That double occupancy number has now been hit. And yes, we will continue to sell double occupancy because we're holding the slots in the lifeboat, but we will not sell any more quad, triples, anything else. in that section. So that comes into play too, Rick. So you may have to completely change category, or you might have to change the section of the ship that you're currently in. B Stance is reminding us that you can also fly from Tampa to Miami if you wanted to. Silver Airways from Tampa to Miami can also get you there.
Should be a relatively short flight too.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be like a 30-minute flight, so that'd be relatively short. I don't know what the cost of that is compared to, say, taking a train or a bus or anything like that. It'll certainly be fast. You'll fly right into Miami Airport, and then from the airport, straight shot over to the port. Super easy, super easy. Hey, Chris, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. Vicky, excuse me. What do I think about Disney Cruise? Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Still the best dinner. In fact, the other Joy of Cruising podcast that I listened to was an entertainer. He's a magician, and he does a lot of Disney cruises. And I found it interesting that he said he thinks the best meal at sea right now is Paolo at dinner, but he's never been to Remy. And Remy is on the Fantasy and the Dream. Remy to me is still, and we were just on Oceana and the food was flat out amazing, but that experience, the food, everything at Remy on the Disney Fantasy, still my favorite dining experience, land or sea.
And it was our 20th anniversary.
It was our 20th anniversary, and it was very magical. They put us in the wine room, so it was all the wine. It was beautiful. It was magical. So Disney Cruise Line is actually excellent for adults as well. They do have adults-only areas, and that is enforced. It's enforced. What I loved on the Dream, the Fantasy and the Dream, it'll be the same way, but the adults-only pool had the coffee shop right there, which was brilliant. I loved that. And then the back of the ship is what they call Europa, so there's a whole entertainment district strictly for adults. The only thing I didn't like about that, I thought it was chopped up a little bit much. I think they tried to put like 4 or 5 venues in a space that would have been better served with maybe 3 larger venues. But it is fabulous. And of course, if you've got kids, it really is just an amazing match. Here's the cool thing. So if you're thinking about Disney World, or should I go on a Disney cruise, I would take the cruise every single time for 2 big reasons. One, a lot less stress, right? You're not running around 40 miles of theme parks to try to hit every single thing. And number 2, the character interactions are so much more engaging and meaningful on the ships versus the theme parks. When you go to the theme park, everybody lines up, you get your picture, move on. Get your picture.
Sometimes you have to make like reservations.
Yeah, and all this other stuff. Whereas on the ships, the characters are out there every single night, and or every single day, and there's just the 3,000 or whatever it is of you folks on the ship. And after everybody sees Mickey the first time, it's like, all right, there can be a big line to see Mickey and Minnie, but I've seen video of Doctor Strange and Thor playing Scrabble with guests because they're just kind of hanging out. So the characters are out there, and especially the what I'll call the human characters that don't have the heads on. They tend to just stay out there for quite some time, and they'll sit and they'll chat and they'll talk with you and all of that. So I would actually take a Disney cruise over a Disney theme park pretty much any single time. So, yeah. Well, Michael, you're saying Disney pricing, though. So here's the thing. You start to look at Royal Caribbean, they're getting close. They're getting really, really close. So it depends on the cruise. You go on some of the older ships. You go on some of the older ships. And when I say older, I mean Fantasy and Dream. Even the Wonder and the Magic, they're kept up so well. It just depends on the itinerary you're going on.
The time of year is huge.
And the service that you're going to get and the food that you're going to get. So there's all that, like Oceana Cruises. People are like, oh, wow, check out the prices. Well, okay, let's put you against Celebrity. So we take Celebrity and Oceana, and now we put, apples to apples, and suddenly Oceana is like, oh, Oceana sometimes is cheaper. Maybe it's a little bit more, but look at everything that's included and not included. And of course, you're paying for the Disney brand. You can't get a Disney cruise any other way. So, the Disney prices are more expensive. Royal Caribbean, Icon of the Seas, Star of the Seas, they're quite expensive. But is it worth it? I mean, you look at the Icon of the Seas. They have the Ultimate Family Townhouse. It is a 3-story. There she is right there. The Ultimate Family Townhouse. That's a big 3-story townhome, and the average price is $95,000 to $100,000 for 7 days, and it's completely sold out for 2024. You can't book this in 2024 if you wanted to. and it's selling quite well in 2025. And by the way, if anybody would like to book this cabin, please do reach out. I would love to book it for you because I want to come on the ship and I want to go slide. I'm hoping this is going to be open next week when we get on the ship. So you say, you know, price is relative. Price is relative to what do you want? And for obviously 50 some guests, the ultimate townhouse is worth $95,000 to $100,000. So, you know, I kind of get out of that. I'm starting to get out of that. Oh, well, this is expensive. That's expensive. It's a vacation. And what do you want to get out of your vacation? And what are you willing to spend? We have clients who take $1,500 vacations. We have clients who take $60,000 vacations. We try our darndest to make sure everybody gets the value for what they want. You know what I mean? I just want everybody to have a good time. I just want everybody to have a good time.
And if you're looking to pay a bit less for your Disney cruise, there's two things. Yep. You book as soon as the itineraries come out, because they really don't have sales.
Nope.
Their prices will generally start at the lowest rate they're ever going to be at, and they will go up from there.
Yeah.
And the other thing to do is to book when the kids are in school.
Yep.
So,
and they do have selected itineraries almost every year that are 30% off. We have seen that.
Well, yes, if you're like a Disney Plus subscriber or, you know,
even just certain itineraries show up as well. But yeah, there are special for Disney Plus and other things as well.
But you will save money by going in, you know, February versus going in June.
Exactly. So, and Catherine brought up a good point about the third person. You know, when you're adding a third or a fourth person to a cabin, we need to take a look and see if it's a Pullman bed. If it's a Pullman bed, that's the one that drops from the ceiling. So it's like the top bunk of a bunk bed. You got to climb up a little ladder to get in, to get out. If you got young people, that's perfectly fine. But depending on the age,
not too young.
But depending on the age of a third person and their mobility, can they get up and down? So, you know, some, especially interior cabins, they don't have the sofa that's going to open up into a bed. Usually the configuration is third person gets the sofa that opens into a bed, fourth person gets the drop down. But in some cabins, especially interiors, it's going to be two drop downs that come out of the ceiling. Plus, you got to make sure when you wake up in the middle of the night, you got a little bit of light on so you don't walk right into it. You know,
if you are in one of those interiors with two drop downs, the bed on the floor has to be separated. You cannot have it together. That's
another good point too. Like you cannot have the bed on the floor together because it just gets, they need to be able to step down into that gap between the two beds. So it will literally be two bunk beds. You're going to have two lower beds and the two upper beds. So yeah, that's another thing to look into. Thank you, Catherine, for that one. I do appreciate that. Oh yeah, Rana, you're going to Alaska in September. So I will say my favorite thing about Disney in Alaska are the outfits that Mickey and Minnie wear. They're adorable. They're the best outfits on any of the cruises.
Although Halloween is kind of fun too.
Halloween is fun.
Dress up.
And I will say, if you go for Christmas, we talk about Stephanie all the time. She was a huge part. If you were on this past year for the Christmas celebration, and I'm sure the Very Merry Times coming up this coming Christmas, she was a big part of the whole show this year. Almost all of that animation and video. She was a huge part of all the visuals that were happening during the Very Merry Times show. And yeah, I'm sure they're going to play all of that again this year. So yay. Hey, Rana, good to see you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. In Milby 1995, you don't see yourself spending $35,000 plus. Yeah. And you know, that it's whatever you're comfortable with. You know, that's the thing. Whenever we're working on a cruise or a land tour or an expedition or whatever it is, we always have to be mindful of what the client wants to pay. And we often will show you something that's, you know, hey, here's something that's up here. Here's a suite. We know you don't want a suite, but you know, I've got space on the page. So here's what a suite looks like. So at least you can see, and maybe not this time, but you might have a special event coming up. You might have a special anniversary where you're like, okay, this one time, it might not be $35,000, but you might say, oh, I'm going to spend, you know, $7,000, and we're going to get the nice suite. So I just literally had that happen this past week, where a client is retiring. Him and his partner, they're both retiring after long careers, and they're like, we are treating ourselves like we've never treated ourselves before. They are doing back-to-back itineraries in Singapore and Japan. Oh my God, on Celebrity. Oh my God, absolutely beautiful. Not a cheap cheap cruise by any means, but he's like, you know what, we're treating ourselves. This is a special occasion. I'm like, you go for it. That's the way you do it. But I would say, I don't know, you can go on a really good vacation for $2,000, $2,500, obviously on a cruise. If you go on an interior.
For 2 people.
Yeah, for 2 people. Yeah, you can get an interior for $1,200 or less on a lot of cruises, and just go have a good time. It just depends on what you feel comfortable with. Like, we're going to Alaska on Oceana. That is not the cheapest way to go to Alaska, but it's nearly all inclusive. We've got 600 or 800 inshore excursion credits. The gratuities are included. The drink package is included. Like, pretty much, really, all we got to pay for is the extra excursions.
And instead of being on a ship with 4,000 or 5,000 other people unloading into the port, we'll be on a ship with 1,200.
Yeah, we're going to be on a ship with 1,200. The days of cheap cruising are not gone. Not at all. Not if you know where to look. I mean, I can put you on Carnival, Norwegian. I can put you on MSC. Oh my gosh, MSC. Geez, you can put 2 people in a balcony for less than $1,000 on some of their sailing. So yeah, the days of cheap cruising are still here. They just may not be in the same places that you're used to seeing them. That's all. Like cruising cheap on Royal Caribbean, you got to look for good deals these days. But if you really want to get out on a ship for under $1,000 for 2 people, yeah, we can find that all day long. That's not a problem. Just depends on when do you want to sail, where do you want to sail out of, and it may not necessarily be the exact ship you want to sail on, but we can put you out there. You did the, Cindy, that's right. You did the Haven for your 50th birthday. Well worth the splurge. I know, those special events can be so lovely. I was talking about that couple that's going on the Norwegian Epic in Italy. They decided to turn it into and it's already a 10-day cruise. That's pretty good, right? In the Mediterranean, we're taking a 10-day Mediterranean cruise. And then they're like, you know what? We're going that far. Let's add some time in Rome. So yeah, we added 5 or 6 days in Rome, and they don't have to think about a thing. When they land in Rome, there will be a private car waiting for them. That car will take them to the hotel. Once they're at the hotel, the tour operator will check in with them and say, hey, we're going to be meeting up with you these days. And then every day except one, we've got 1 tour planned for every single day. We didn't stack the whole thing up, but we have 1 tour every single day. They're going to go on a food tour. They're going to learn how to make pasta and mozzarella. They're going to go to the Vatican, the Colosseum, the Sistine Chapel. Yes, and they're going to skip the line, go right on in. So, and to them, it's like, well, we're already paying for the flight to get all the way over there, and we're taking the cruise, and the cruise is going to be lovely. We're going to see Italy and Greece, but why don't we really want to see some more Rome, so let's just add a little bit more on there. And it doesn't cost all that much more to add something like that on once you're already there. So yeah, so for those special things, it's a lot of fun. But for most of our travel, it is, let's get in. We're going to get in a day early. We're going to set you up with a nice little hotel, and then you're going to go out and do the cruise. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It really is. As you can tell, I love what I do. I really do love what I do. It's stressful sometimes. Rebecca will tell you it's stressful. I work long days. My day typically starts about 7 a.m. It could end as late as 1 a.m. Because I've got West Coast clients, or I'm working on proposals, or we're working through things. And,
or you have to make Virgin Voyages dining reservations.
Oh yeah, I'll be up at 11:30 in the night to make Virgin Voyages reservations for my clients if they ask. So it's a lot of work, but I really enjoy what I do, and I'm glad that you guys like what we're doing, and you keep passing along our information to folks. So, and I know we didn't really talk as much about Icon yet as I thought we were going to, but I will be on the ship. But I do want to go through the 27 categories. So yes, there are a lot of categories, and I'm going to work from the top all the way down. So just stick with me for a little bit here. And I'm literally.
These are cabin categories.
These are cabin categories. So of course, I mentioned the ultimate family townhouse. This is 1,772 square feet. It's 3 stories. It's bigger than this house. Our house is 1,450 square feet that we're renting, which, by the way, you're going to see a new backdrop soon because we're being evicted out of the house.
Not evicted.
Well, yeah. Well, our landlord's not going to renew the lease. We've been here for 3 years, and the landlord let us know they're not going to renew the lease. So
they're selling the house.
My birthday is March 16th, and that's the day that we have to be out of here. So in March.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to me. Get out. Here's your candle. Go. So in March, you're going to see a new backdrop, a new everything. So we'll be moving. We're going to stay in the Orlando area. We're just not really sure where yet, but we will still be in the Orlando area somewhere. So let's see. So the Ultimate Family Townhouse, this sleeps 8 people, 1,772 square feet. There's 2 bedrooms. There is 1 on the ship. The Royal Loft, I like the Royal Loft suites. They're pretty. They're on the Oasis class as well. I think they're on the Quantum class. They're lovely, lovely cabins. We got 1,482 square feet, and 6 people can stay in that one. The Icon Loft, so they've got a new loft. Oh, there's 1 Royal Loft on the Icon. Now, the Icon Loft, which is a new name, right? And there are some handicap accessible with these. It's an ocean view with 656 square feet. It can hold 4 people. There's 7 of those on the ship. Now I'm going to move into the Royal Suite class. This is a sky tier. Catherine, your philosophy is if you're already paying for flights, you might as well stay as long as possible. That's the way I feel as well. If you're going somewhere, try to stay a little bit longer. You know, you're already going there. Like if you're coming to Port Canaveral, I strongly encourage you to stay for 2 days in Cocoa Beach, take 1 day and go to the Kennedy Space Center. Freaking amazing. And then take the other day and just hang out by the beach because it's such a cool little beach vibe. What makes an Icon Loft versus a Royal Loft? Royal Caribbean says this one's an Icon and that's a Royal. Actually, so the Icon Loft is half the size. So the Royal Loft is 1,482 and the Icon Loft is 656. So it's half the size. That's probably the big difference in it, and it sleeps 4 versus 6. Now the Royal Class Sky Tier, we've got the Owner Suite. So the Owner Suite is 658 square feet. It sleeps 4. The Sunset Corner Suite, as it says, it's going to be on the corner of a ship. It'll have a little bit of a wraparound balcony. You've got 380 to 480 square feet. It holds 4 people. I'm not going to tell you how many because that's just going to get confusing. We've got the Sunset Suite. That is 390 square feet. That can hold 4 people. The Infinite Grand Suite. Notice the word infinite. Infinite Grand Suite. That means it's an infinite balcony. So the balcony is going to open up just like an infinite. There are a lot of infinite balconies on here, just like Celebrity. So the Infinite Grand Suite, 430 square feet. It can hold up to 4. The Grand Suite, 430 square feet, holds up to 4. The Panoramic Suite. This one does not have a balcony. This is all glass. And I know that some of these are in the Aquadome. So it's literally like floor to ceiling. The whole wall is just glass. That's all it is. So it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. I don't know how much heat is going to come in, especially in the Caribbean. It could start to get hot. But the Panoramic Suite is 370 to 440 square feet. It holds 4 people. The Sky Junior Suite. So it's the new Sky tier. I don't know if the Junior Suites are in the Sky tier.
No, they are
not. Yeah, so we love the Junior Suite whenever we can.
And there's still some on there that aren't in the Sky class.
Yeah, but the Sky Junior Suite. So the Junior Suite, to me, if you can get into a Junior Suite on Royal Caribbean, I love them. They're about twice as, they're not quite twice as wide, but they're almost twice as wide as a standard balcony cabin. And of course, the balcony is going to be that much wider as well. I love Junior Suite, but now they're adding a Sky class, which gets you more stuff. If you want to know what comes in the Star class, the Sky tier, the C tier, and all of that, RoyalCaribbean.com, they do have, you can actually search Royal Class Suites. The Royal Suite class, and you'll see all there's a lot of stuff that comes with these, and it changes depending on the category.
And depending on the ship, too. Some categories are different on certain ships.
So the Sky Junior Suite, 322 square feet. It holds 4 people. The Surfside Family Suite. So we talked about Surfside. That's in the back of the ship. That's where the water play area is and everything. So you would have the boardwalk balconies and all of that. Well, way in the very back, you're going to have the Surfside Suite, which are the family suites. Makes it really easy. You come out of your cabin, you go straight into that whole Surfside area. So the Surfside Family Suite can hold 4, 2 adults and 2 kids. It specifically says 2 adults and 2 kids. It does not hold 4 adults. It holds 2 kids and 2 adults. It's 269 square feet.
And
that's a nice
for
size.
Royal Caribbean, adult kids are 12 and under.
Yeah, 12 and under. Now, I don't know what the age limit is for these when they say kids, 2 adults and 2 kids. So I'll have to look that up. Now, if we step down into the C tier, we have the Sunset Junior Suite. So those are going to be on the aft of the ship. I love this idea. 322 to 330 square feet. You can put 4 people. A standard junior suite is 322 square feet. Man, that's bigger, I think, than most of the junior suites on the other ships. That's going to hold up to 4 people. What do we have?
Page 2.
Page 2, yes. And remember, we have 12 passenger decks. 12 passenger decks on this ship. Now we're in the regular balcony and interior cabins. Family infinite ocean view balcony. So yes, they do have infinite balconies looking out at the ocean. They're up to 285 square feet. That's big for a cruise cabin. That holds up to 6 people. So this is a quote unquote, this is a family balcony cabin that holds 6 people. Wow. What do we got here? Infinite ocean view balcony, just a standard one. It can hold up to 200 square feet. That's still a big balcony cabin. 200 square feet. That's big. That's a good size.
It's about normal.
Yeah. The ocean view large balcony, 204 square feet. That can hold up to 4 people in the correct category. Connecting ocean view balcony. This is usually a good deal. If you've never looked at the connecting ocean view balcony because you don't need them, they're usually a little cheaper than the other balcony classes. At least they have been on the Oasis class and they have been on the Freedom class. But the connecting ocean view balcony is also 204 square feet, holds up to 4 people. Then your standard ocean view balcony, 204 square feet with a smaller balcony, and that's going to hold up to 4. Now, Central Park, I love this. Oh, well, actually, it says Central Park View Balcony. I didn't realize they had actual balconies out there. I guess they have a few balconies. But it's predominantly, oh, yeah, they have 42 of them. But the Infinite View Central Park, 200 square feet, that holds up to 4. Pretty much every category is going to hold up to 4 on this ship. And that's why that number changes so much. Then Central Park Regular Balcony, 196 square feet. Surfside Family View Balcony. So that would be your old boardwalk view. They don't have anything on here called a boardwalk balcony anymore. So now it's going to be called Surfside. I think that whole area is now called Surfside. So that is 196 square feet, and that holds up to 4 people. The panoramic ocean view. So again, floor to ceiling glass. You're not going to be able to open up anything. That's going to hold 3 people. Your standard ocean view cabins. Now the panoramic ocean view is 258 square feet. That's a pretty big cabin. Your standard ocean view on the Icon is going to be 160 to 187 square feet. That will hold up to 4 people. Your Central Park View interior. Are you keeping up with all these categories? There's a lot of categories. Yes, I will do a video. Central Park View interior is 167 square feet, holds up to 4 people. That's going to start getting a little tight. If you got 4 adults in that cabin, you might want to consider getting 2. Surfside Family View interior, again, 167 square feet, holds up to 4 people. Just keep in mind, when you got 4 adults, and keep in mind, it's probably going to be bunks that are going to drop from the top. So that means the bottom bed has to stay split so people can get out. I will be seeing...
bear in mind that you're also sharing 1 bathroom.
Yeah, you're sharing 1 bathroom. I don't know how many cabins we're going to get to see, but on the first 2 days on the Icon of the Seas, they are going to be allowing us to go visit a lot of cabins to go see them. Obviously, the sailings that we're going to be on, not going to be nearly even close to being full because we're all going to be travel agent and media and whatnot coming on the ships. I got 3 more categories. I got the spacious interior, which is 178 square feet. That holds up to 4 people. The interior plus, I forgot about that one. What does the interior plus have? Interior plus has something. There's 203 of them on the ship. It only holds 2 people. And get this, the interior only holds 2 people, the standard interior. So we've got 2 categories at the very end that only hold 2. Interior plus and the interior. I am totally blanking on what the plus is. There's something about the plus that I'm blanking on. I want to
say it's something to like, I think the cabin is squarer.
Oh, it's the square cabin. You're right. Yeah, the cabin is
cabin.
Completely square. But just to give you an idea, there you go. Here are, there's a lot of cabins on this particular ship. If you have not gone and looked at the deck plans yet, and then I'm not done. Right here, here's the other page. So these are the top decks up there. So as you can see, there's even cabins like up in here where the thrill water park and all of that is. So it's a big ship with a lot of stuff to see. I tell you, I wish I could bring my scooter with me, my little rolling scooter, so I could roll around the ship. So I would, so I could see it more, but I'm going to do my best to see everything I can. We got a question, Peter. Hi, Peter. How are you? Good to see you. You're going in June on a 12-day British Isles cruise on Celebrity. Any tour recommendations? I can't think of anything offhand because I don't have that itinerary in front of me, but certainly do some research on, let's see, so in British Isles, well, obviously, if you're in Dublin, you got to go to Guinness, right? A lot of people go to the Blarney Stone. You know, keep in mind, if you're going to go see the Blarney Stone at the castle, that you've got to be able to turn yourself upside down and backwards to actually kiss the stone. You're going to be suspended.
Seems very unhygienic. Frankly.
Yeah, it's not a very easy thing to do. I don't have anything offhand because I always have the Caribbean in my head, so I would have to go back and refresh myself. I do have some things in the office that I do keep for clients and whatnot, but I'm sorry I can't help you out. If anybody has been to the British Isles recently and you have some thoughts, certainly throw them in there. YouTube and but Celebrity, great cruise line. I think I know which itinerary you're on, but I can't think of it offhand. So Shannon, is it possible to sail solo with a drink packet for under $1,000? Maybe on Norwegian, maybe. With the free at sea. So Norwegian Cruise Line has 1,000 solo cabins now across the fleet. Everybody knows about the studio cabins. So they have the studio cabins on a lot of their ships, but they have also gone in and taken approximately 1,000 of their double occupancy cabins and recategorized them to a solo traveler, which still gives you access to the studio lounge. So depending on the sailing, you're going to be in an inside. There's no way around that. You're going to be inside. But for right around 1,000, certainly, I don't know if it'll be under, but right around 1,000 free at sea, why not? You could do that, no problem. Just reach out.
It is going to depend on the time of year and where
it's the
you
time
want
of
to sail
year,
from.
the ship you're going on, the sailing you're going on. But I think you could go on certain 7-night cruises and be right in that 1,000 threshold. You might be a little over, but you'll be right in that 1,000
give or take
threshold.
a couple hundred.
Yeah. So it just depends on the ship. Depends on the ship and the itinerary and where it's sailing out of. But if you want to reach out, I'll be more than happy to help you out if you want to give us the time frame. But it's probably going to be Norwegian, maybe Carnival if you want to get on an older ship. Oh, maybe MSC too.
Yeah.
MSC, I could probably put you on MSC in an interior for under 1,000 or right at that $1,000 threshold as a solo traveler with their drinks package. Yeah. Well, they have 5 drink packages. So. Oh, there you go. Jada, you were in Ireland. The Cliffs of Moher were incredible. They do look amazing. They do look absolutely amazing. But yeah, I'm sorry. I can't think of anything offhand.
Was it? I think Belfast is where they have the Titanic Museum.
Oh, yeah. See if the Titanic Museum is on your, I know it's kind of weird, right? You're on a cruise and you're going to go to Titanic Museum. But I've seen a lot. In fact, some of our friends have been there as well. I believe Ben and David actually went there, but it looks spectacular. Absolutely.
In fact, you may want to search Ben and David for various British island
that's a great idea.
See.
So our friends Ben and David, Cruise with Ben and David, go into their YouTube channel. I'm sure that they've done that particular cruise or one very, very similar to it. They cruise around England and Europe a lot.
And especially for their episodes right after cruising restarted after the pandemic, I think they were staying closer to home at that point.
Thank you, Jada. That's awesome. So to check out Ben and David, again, we're very proud travel partners with them. We actually booked their entire inaugural group cruise that's coming up in June. We'll be out there with them. In fact, hopefully we're going to see them this week. They're supposed to be in the area. They're going on the Icon of the Seas in January 27th, but they should be around the area, I think, this week or next week. So hopefully we're actually going to get together with them for dinner before they hop on that ship. Coming to Port Canaveral early for a few days at Walt Disney World. Nice. That'll be really nice. And of course, people always ask me, well, how do we get between the two? Of course, you can take that Disney shuttle if you're on Disney, but Cocoa Beach Shuttle is who I use. I think they're a family-owned company out in Cocoa Beach. And what I love about Cocoa Beach Shuttle is they will pick you up from the airport, the Orlando airport. They'll pick you up from an Orlando area hotel. They will take you to a Cocoa Beach area hotel. They'll even pick you up from the hotel and take you on over to the port. So I love the fact that they're like all inclusive. It's not just airport to the port or airport to a hotel. They'll actually pick you up from multiple spots in Orlando. They'll deliver you to multiple spots in Cocoa Beach. So Cocoa Beach Shuttle, that's their name. I don't get a commission or anything from them. I just like them. They're good folks, and they've taken really good care of our clients, and they're very inexpensive. They're very reasonable. I want to say $65 for 2 people each way. So it's $130 round trip, and then I think it's $7 per person or $6 per person to get from a Cocoa Beach hotel over to the cruise port. So yeah, they're very reasonable, really nice people. You can book your reservations online. Cocoa Beach Shuttle, really, really nice people. Yeah, Pete, I'm sorry I couldn't give you any more direct answers. It's just one of the things that I need to see the itinerary, and I need to see some of the stuff and go, oh yeah, recommend that. So I'm sorry. I try to keep as much of a Rolodex as I can in my head, but I can't keep everything up there. The Caribbean's much easier for me because we're always down there. So, Rana, looking forward to June on Valiant Lady. I know that's going to be amazing. We were just on Valiant Lady for Thanksgiving. It was freaking amazing. We were on Scarlet Lady last week as one of the invited guests for the top 100. That was amazing.
Which is exactly the same itinerary as the group cruise.
Yeah, the Key West. So here's the thing. If any of y'all are going to Key West, or you have a cruise that's going to stop in Key West. What was the name of that place, Rebecca?
DJ's Clam Shack.
DJ, like the letter D as in dog and J. DJ's Clam Shack. It is literally a shack. You walk up to it. There's like 5 seats in the front looking at the street. There's like a bench on the side. That's it. Lobster rolls, people. Lobster rolls and fried clams. Oh my God, were they good. I don't think I posted the video yet, but I got to. DJ's Clam Shack. Easy walk. What was the name of that main drag? Do you remember?
Duval Street.
Duval Street. So your cruise ship is going to park in the port. Get yourself lined up with Duval Street and just start walking. And it will be on the left. It'll be on the left side of the street as you're walking away from the cruise port. DJ's Clam Shack. Oh my God, so freaking good. The lobster roll was amazing. You can get an overstuffed lobster roll. I want to say it's like $25. Absolutely worth it.
Well, the regular lobster
roll.
Yeah,
it's like $40, 40 or $45 for the overstuffed. I don't think you need that.
There were just huge chunks of lobster in the regular lobster.
And then if you're a kid like me who remembers Howard Johnson and going to Howard Johnson and having those fried clams, oh my God, they were so, it took me right back. In fact, this gentleman walked by, like literally when you're sitting, people are just walking right by the sidewalk, like right in front of you. This gentleman walked by, we just started a conversation and he saw the clams. He's like, man, that reminds me of, and I went, Howard Johnson. And we said at the same time, actually had to give him some clams. They were so good. So if you're going to Key West, DJ's Clam Shack. Rana, we will be going back there in June. So if you want to walk with us, we'll be glad to walk with you guys. In fact, we might just have to start this whole thing on the page and say, hey, if anybody wants to go to DJ's Clam Shack with us, come on along.
Although I think it probably only seats about 9 people. I
know, so we'll all have to be standing out there. Megan, Mears is the old Magical Express people, $17 one way. That's who you were going to use. And actually, that Sunshine Flyer that blew up, Mears ended up buying them. So now it says Mears Express driven by Sunshine. It's so confusing. But they got rid of like the whole train wrap. The buses were so cool. They had the train wrap on them and everything, and they wore the engineers caps and all that. It looks like all of that is gone. But yeah, we saw a couple of the Mears buses over at the airport the other day.
The $17, that would be from the Orlando airport to Disney, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, from the airport. But I don't know about anywhere else. But there are a lot of people who fly into Orlando, they'll stay in an Orlando area hotel, and then take a taxi back to the airport to catch the shuttle. So you can totally do that if you want to catch the shuttle. But I love I just love the Cocoa Beach shuttle. So when I said it was $65, that's a flat rate for 2 people each way.
And that's from Orlando to Port Canaveral.
Yeah, Orlando to Port Canaveral round trip. And then if you need a ride from a Cocoa Beach area hotel over to the port, it's like $6 or $7 to get over there. So they're super nice people, super nice people. I love them. They've taken care of all of our clients. Again, we make no commission from them. I don't care. They take care of our clients, and that's who we usually book our clients through if we're not doing it directly through the cruise line. So folks, wow. We've been going for well over an hour and a half. I've got 5 hours of phone calls coming that start in less than an hour. So I'm going to have to go grab some lunch and then get going. So folks, again, we're Walter. I'm Walter with Where's Walter Travel. My wife, Rebecca, is the voice you've been hearing off camera. We love what we do. We're travel advisors, and we book cruises, land, expedition, luxury, anything that you need, including up to and including private jets. We now have private jets at our disposal. So if you really want to go all the way and fly somewhere on a private jet as well, we can even set that up. So, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream on YouTube. Thank you so much, guys. We will be back Thursday night with another live on Thursday night on YouTube. So you guys have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. Thank you for tuning in. And over on